Yo, Tim, you get the link? 'Cause you can do it from your phone too. I just want you to know you can do it from your phone as well. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Turn them off, probably. Yeah. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another episode live. Fresh Fridays. This your boy T Hyphen, man. I'm joined by my homie, man, a good friend. Give us a minute while we get these technical difficulties out the way. You know, we OGs now, man, so we ain't as technical as we need to be. But hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on, Tim. Yo, Tim. Give us a minute. We're trying to work out this technical difficulties. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, though. Dopelines podcast. You dig? This Fresh Fridays. Uh, as you know, we try to keep it funky right now. Ain't no NBA jumping off right now. I mean, you got the draft that just happened, and you know that all the other stuff. But for the most part, it's us. You know, football is out, basketball is out. Some of y'all might like, a little baseball or whatever, but for the most part, it's out. But yeah, give us a minute, man, while we trying to hook up this uh Fresh Friday show with Tim Matthews. I got my boy Tim Matthews on there. Hold on, I think he just popped up. Let me see. Yo, Tim, I see you, man. I see you, brother, but you frozen. Hold on, let me see. Let me bring it back. You know, y'all gotta give us a minute, man. We old heads, man. We trying to work out this joint. We trying to work it out. You know, I just say, brothers, go work it out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna send him another link. You dig? See can he join in? Hey, but before he jump in, while we waiting on him to jump in, I want to know what did y'all think about the finals, the NBA finals, man? Was it hmm, was it a? I mean, went game seven. So was it like a classic? Was it a classic game seven, or was it just good for what the league has been? So you like the league been so dookie is a good thing that we had a regular show, a regular series, a good series. You know, it was subpar teams to me, evenly matched though. Wasn't no mega stars, no superstars. Everybody out there was just stars. You know, a few stars out there, but for some reason they always seem to think that these boys are superstars, and that's where they get it twisted at, man. These boys are stars if they stars. Ant Man is a star. He's not a superstar. Like let's not get it twisted. He might have some games where he, thrill and do some stuff, but that's all part of being an NBA player. You gonna have your ups and downs. You gonna have your games. Now he's a great player. Don't get me twisted. He's a star. Superstar is different. T Mac was a superstar, man. You know that type of player. Kobe superstar. Jordan superstar. Durant superstar. People that you just break your neck to pay and get tickets for. Yo, I got my boy Tim on the line. What's good, Tim? We got you on the feed. Hold on, let me make sure your audio is intact. Okay. Can you hear me, bro? Ooh, hold on, y'all. Give us a minute. We still working on it. Okay, I got a thumbs up. I got a thumbs up from the brother. Hold on, Tim. I got you too. I know what the. Mic check, mic check. All right, I think I worked it out. It's hard work being an old man. Trying to learn this stuff, man. Preston's gonna work it out. Okay, so I think I understood why I couldn't hear my boy Tim. Yeah. Phew. So give us a minute. But like to what I was saying, the NBA Finals, was it classic or was it a whole hum? Was it dope or no? We're gonna break it down like we always do. Was it dope or no? Me, I think it was a good uh series. I like the defensive aspect of the whole series. It's a lot of defense played in it. Um, tightly contested. I didn't see, the big 151 to 147 thriller. You know, we saw some defense getting played. We saw some offense getting played. So it was just a great uh contest, competition. But yeah, back to the topic. Like I say, I don't know what's going on, man. For some reason, it's just a bad feed or something. I just can't. I'm gonna try again. You know me. I don't ever give up. Like last week or a couple of weeks ago, uh, my boy Wood couldn't join us, but 38 Special did. We didn't give up. We live, so anything can happen. Shout out to everybody tuning in though. On the tune in though, I tell you that. You know, going down. 700 block of Lockwood, 800 block of Lockwood, 700 block of Latrobe. Uh, Shout out to everybody out the Ave. Everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share too, man. Hit that like button and that bell button so you can be notified every time we jump on this boy and do a live stream or anything jump off. Breaking news, whatever. We like to keep it a band. We don't too much talk about gossip or anything. And also, if you look ahead, you can see that Dope Lines Apparel. Yeah, yeah. Dope Lines Apparel. I'm talking about making moves, man. Got people hitting the line, Jack. Like you cracked the code, fam. You own it. You all over it. You winning. So I like to salute everybody who just salute that. 'Cause it ain't about the money, man. It ain't about all that. It's about that payoff, making the right moves, doing the right things, hard work. It paid off, man. So make sure y'all hit up dopelinesapparel.com. That's how we doing it, man. Um, it looked like the interview with Tim Matthews. I don't know, man. We trying again, but if not, you already know. Dope Lines Podcast. We got so much stuff to talk about, man. Um, for those who don't know, this podcast started back in 2016, I would say. That's when we got Sting, and it started off as a just an apparel line, dopelinesapparel.com. Got to plug it again. We always got to do that. But it started off as a apparel line, and then it kind of grew because by me being knee deep in hip hop and being around all the greats, me pushing apparel on them was cool But just me being around them, able to ask them questions, and my barber background made it easy for me to ask questions. Because I was just used to talking to peoples and that one-on-one environment and and picking the ear. So the whole transition to interviewing people kind of came easy. So as I'm interviewing peoples in my barber chair, from regular peoples, everybody, um, it just grew from there. So it was like I'm around all these superstars, pioneers, you know, uh, due to my affiliation, my Death Squad affiliation. Shout out to Eric Sherman, man. Shout out to Perry Smith too. But E-Dub, Death Squad, that's the first crew that I ever signed to. The first crew I ever really rock with. Lucky me. I'm a kid from Chicago, but I hooked up one of the most infamous rap crews ever. So us doing that, me uh being around all these pioneers from KRS-One, the Big Daddy Kane, Rakim. I'm talking about the icons, the goats, the real goats. It's only right that I start asking questions and stuff. So it came to a thing where they were like, "Yo, you need a podcast. Your affiliation with the streets, your affiliation with hip hop, your affiliation with just that's you being a barber from Chicago. You need to start a podcast." So, ladies and gentlemen, with no delay, we have the greatest podcast ever put together. You heard me. The greatest podcast ever fucking put together. So, we still trying to see where my man Tim Matthews. Hold on, though. Hold on. Tim, yo, you looking good. Hold on. Let me get your audio in. I got you on point. Got my boy Tim Matthews in the joint. Okay. Let me hear you say something, my brother. Make sure you on. Hold on, Tim. They saying they can't hear you. You hear my man? Like, give me a thumbs up. Somebody, let me know. Hold on, Tim. I see you. I see you though. Fuck it. All right. Yeah. Oh, audio. Hold on. That's crazy. All right. Yo. Hey, Tim.
That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you
Can you hear
now.
me?
Okay, there we go. There we go.
You can hear me now, bro?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, here, I'm gonna show hey, what's going on, man. We're just gonna sit at the
That's cool. That's cool.
over here. Wait,
We just getting settled in, my brother. That's cool. That's cool. Let me pull you up on understand me. Hold on. Let me pull you up on a double bubble. Can you hear me, Tim? Hello? All right. Let me give him a minute. You already know, man. Like I said, man, shout out to everybody tuning in. The old heads working on this technical, uh, new technology, baby. It is what it is. Let me see some. See if, This right here should be a commercial for Wi-Fi. I need a sponsor. Somebody needs to come and see this dilemma, find this problem, and fix it. We need it. We got straight good internet feed, baby. We need y'all to handle that. Okay, there we go.
How we doing, T?
We good. We good. You good? You got a little bit of lag. You know, not a little bit. So you got a lot of bit of lag. People in here funny, man. They hilarious, Jack. They saying you on Metro PCS, Tim. Yeah, Tim. Oh well, folks. Yo, we gonna keep trying though, man. We just ain't no quitters, man. We just ain't no quitters. Um, so we gonna do this to the show since I got this live joint jumping off. I want to ask maybe the hardest question ever asked in music. Now, it's a lot of people that compare. Hold on, my boy Timmy. Okay, okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah. All right, folks. Hold on. Let me put you on the split screen so I can make sure I got you on the joint. It's my boy Tim, man. Hold on. Let me get Tim in this joint. For all those who don't know, man, um, Chicago, born and raised, you know, West Side, uh, 700 block off the Ave, you know. Um, Man, what a resume! You work for George's, George's Music Room. Shout out to George Daniels. You know, what I'm saying, Uncle G. Uh, also, you work for the House of Blues, Jack. Like people don't know if you remember that car rolling around Chicago back in the days, man. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do. If you from the city, you saw that old uh, 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 Blues Brothers joint riding around. That was Tim. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, um, with no delay, I want you to talk and let everybody know who you are. It's my homie, man, my good homie Tim Matthews. Let them know who you are and where you from. Represent, brother. My man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you hear me, T?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Loud and
You
clear. Yep.
okay? Copy you. Okay, copy that. Yo, how we doing, folks? This is Timothy L. Matthews. As he said, very, very proud, born and raised West Sider, for real. Um, so about me, I did 1 year at Western Michigan and finished up my college career over at Columbia College, downtown Chicago. During my time at Columbia, I did a shitload of interns. I always stay busy. I interned from everywhere from Sony Music to George's Music Room, where I ended up working. Shit. Um, I interned also at the House of Blues, and where I also ended up working. Um, what else should you know about that? Right after I graduated, I was one of the few people who was blessed to actually get a job out of college. So I worked at Warner Brothers Records, actually via distribution. So I was on the distribution side. From there, I went right into working for Bacardi USA before they went over to Works. So I worked for the on-premise aspect of things, nightlife, throwing parties, things like that. Then I kind of like just went into regular job mode for a while, actually a long while. And this is kind of like my second act. I've been in TV since 2020. In all actuality, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't even be in the position I'm in. Um, 2019, I was trying to move and establish my life out in Vegas, which would take me to LA. And from that standpoint, when the pandemic happened, I came back home. And then I had a chance meeting with a woman named Natasha Parker from AMC Television.
Okay.
And she gave me the opportunity to work as location scout. And for people that are not familiar with the business, normally how it works is that you start on the front line. You normally start as what they call location assistant or production assistant. So LFP, that's where your first start is. I skipped all of that and went from that to location scout. So
Okay.
what that means is I'm the guy that the studio sends the scripts to. I read it, break it down, and I try to find the right locations that fit for each scene. As far as my accomplishments, I did 2 seasons with a television show, which was my first television show called 61st Street. It's executive produced by some guy named Michael B. Jordan, and I was very
Wow.
proud of that because that was a big project. And I must have did good work from there because this business is kind of built on not just who you know, but if they like you, and also you do hard work. So uh, the Shy came calling me season 5,
Wait, wait,
and I've
before,
been
wait,
there
wait,
for the
hold on,
last
hold
three
on.
seasons.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom off, but before you get to that, I want you to rewind it a little bit because uh, for people who don't know, like this journey seemed like it just came easy. It wasn't
No,
no build up. I want to like show the
no.
build up to how you came to where you were about to explain to where you at now. So okay, like I said, you coming up west side of Chicago. Um, how did you started uh get into the music business? Like how did you start working for George, the legendary George
Okay.
Daniels? For those who don't know, if you don't if you know anything about mom and pops uh uh businesses, anything in the music store scene was heavy in Chicago with the mom and pops. George's Music Room is probably one of the most legendary uh record store in America. If you had to get the music
Right.
early, if you wanted to see the artist, anything, they came to George's Music Room. Anybody who in the business knows George's Music Room. He helped a lot of people, him and his wife. So how did you start off working for Uncle G? Let us know that.
Okay, so we'll try not to go too far back to build up to that, but my first love is music.
Okay.
I was a singer before I got into anything else, and then I used to write poetry a lot. You know what I mean? It turned into songs. So at one point I wanted to just be a performer, which is how I ended up at Western and Columbia. Um, and regarding George, I used to be a part of this organization. Shout out to Columbia College. They allowed us to create an organization called CUMA, Columbia's Urban Music Association. And
Okay.
I studied George.
Yes, sir. Shout out to them, man. I remember them.
Don't let
They major. Major.
so a lot of great people came from that organization too. You know what I'm saying? So very happy to be proud of one of the founding members. But
Mm,
we needed a mentor for our organization, and we approached George Daniels, and he became a mentor for the organization
wow.
as far as helping us not only just get sponsorship, but also like just coming to speak to us, as well as giving us insight on organizational structure.
Dope.
So I am always forever grateful for George. And I tell him that all the time. He calls me his son, or he calls me his music son when
That's
he
dope.
sees me. But that's my guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Uh, and as far as working for him, of course I approached him for a job. So I was working at weekends, bro, like forever.
I
I
remember.
was always there on the weekend. Yeah,
I
like
remember.
Friday, Saturday. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Maybe some Sundays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I've met a lot of people from George. You know what I'm saying? Be to George. So then George actually played an instrumental part in me taking my first job after college.
Okay.
I worked, like I said, I worked at Via Distribution.
Okay.
And again, music is not different from television from the standpoint of who you know, right? So obviously they could have hired somebody more seasoned, but they took a chance on me, and I was Midwest Midwest retail representative.
Okay.
So that position meant that I was going to all the retailers. The
Crazy.
influence, and since I was doing urban music a lot, I was dealing with all the black retailers and pushing the Warner umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So Warner, of course, meant like Madonna, Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying? Some
Okay.
jazz up in there, Brian Colson.
Okay.
Atlantic, of course, was at that time. You had JT trying to come out with a new album. Trick Daddy was still around. Old Terror Squad catalog,
Okay.
Fat Joe, of course, and Electra was, the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because, he left to go to Death Row, and then went over to I think J Records. Busta Rhymes was the man over there. So I do get created. I created a lot of great relationships from that time.
Okay.
Um, and as far as George is concerned, a lot of people don't know this, but the reason why he was one reason why he was so influential, besides his incredible personality, as well as just his history. He's a big history book. Is the fact that he was the only independent retailer, as well as only two African Americans that sat on the board of NARM. That is the National Association of Retailers and Merchandisers. Now, back then,
Wow.
before everything became digital, they had juice. So when I say NARM had the president of Target, the president of Walmart, the president of like major distributions, you know what I'm saying, that CDs and tapes and vinyl used to go through. And George was the only independent. He represented the independent
Wow.
arm. You know what I mean? So he had a lot of clout. Like he had a lot of respect. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
that just
crazy.
wasn't in the urban game. So kudos to George. If you ever want to
Man.
sit down and learn about the history of music, you talk to George. Like for real.
Dead
George
ass.
is
Hey,
a part of my overall makeup. George is part of my overall makeup. Yeah.
that's why I got to tell you. That's why I got to tell you a story about George and how he looked out for me so it's like in a way that nobody else would have did, and it was all pretty much through our association with you.
Oh,
Now,
word.
that's why I say this why this interview mean a whole lot because this is my brother, y'all. Like I've been knowing him for so many years. Like I was, like I know his whole family. I was his barber, so I know his first move, his last move, the chicks he was going to date, the chicks he was in love with. The chick I know a lot about the man. We got history. So when I went to George's
Yeah.
music, I was in barber school, and I remember going to George's music room, and I was working in a barbershop and going to barber school. But I heard that EPMD was at George's music room. So I'm like going crazy, man. I'm like, I gotta get up there, man. I gotta get up there. I gotta meet these peoples, blase, blase. Gotta get through this door. Gotta meet them. Now, George, they see me a lot coming up there, and I come up there and I speak to Tim because he worked on the weekends. So I come up there and I chop it up with him. So
Yeah.
this one time, man, they had EPMD up there, and he told me they was telling people nobody can get in. It's over with. They shut it down. Whatever, whatever. I'm running up there. I'm sweating. I might have caught the shawl to get there too. I might have caught the bus. I get there. I'm sweating crazy. I got my barber bag. I'm like George, let me in. I gotta see him. Whatever, whatever. I just came from barber school. I know he's like, man, it's over with. I swear to God, he through our association, Tim, the man opened the gate up. He let me through, and that really kicked off like a part of my hip hop history because me going in there, I get to meet. I Redman was introduced me to Eric Sermon, and then the ball rolled. And next thing you know, years later, I'm in Atlanta, and the whole circle come, and I end up signing with Def Squad. So it was just like it was huge, man. I'm talking about it was huge, and it was a big shot. And that was just one thing. My other part of my Chicago fame, you remember this when you got me on Jenny Jones. Yes, sir. Jenny Jones. For y'all who remember Jenny Jones, it was recorded, filmed out of Chicago. And this was like when it first started, it was hype. It was all the hype. This was talk shows, was everything. This before reality TV shows, before the internet. It was like talk shows, Jerry Springer, Jenny Jones, before Ricky Lake, all this stuff. And Jenny Jones was blowing up, and he got me on as a celebrity judge for a gong show. And I'm talking about Oh man, look, Tim, they sent the limo. I had dinner at Houston's. We balled out. We in the city, but Jenny took care of us though. But I remember that, man, and you looked out. That was all you, man, and that was you starting off, just starting your career.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, like my first love, which only my true talk was known was management. I still have an affinity for management as a whole, but I think it's evolved now where I can see myself being, if I'm not in this game as a producer or director or EP, then talent agent is probably where I need to be because it's about cultivating relationships and. When I did that for you, that was the early stages of me cultivating
Yeah,
relationships. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just trying to sharpen my iron, if you will. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, man, I remember that because shortly after, the thing happened. So,
yeah.
and Jenny was
Oh
never
yeah.
able to come back from that. So
Hey, hey,
we
look,
won't talk
I
about
gotta
it.
ask you another
You know,
question. Did you ever? Because I remember the Bacardi thing when you worked for Bacardi. But did you ever
yeah.
work for Frank Thomas?
Oh snap, bro! Oh my goodness, my life is a
Ah.
movie. Okay, it's funny. So okay, I had a job, as I said in the beginning, like every semester in school, I was doing something else. Tim Matthews stayed busy.
I
In my
remember.
last semester in college, I worked for Frank Thomas. Who remember me? I ran into him at a White Sox game in the suites last week.
Crazy.
I mean, last year. But he had a record label called Undeniable Records. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the group. It's so embarrassing. They had a hit song called "Page Me." Page man, hey,
Mm.
shout out to Slick. Slick is still my guy. We run into each other ever so often, and that man give me a big
Slick.
hug,
Yes,
man.
sir.
That's my guy for real. Man, you're making me back think about my music roots for real. But um, that was a great time in my life. Honestly, like there's so many great stories that come from
The
there.
build up.
There's not enough time on this, but like I feel like you probably want to do a part two of three with me. But
Oh yeah.
like um, what I'm into now, T, like there are so many levels to it. You know what I mean? And I'm very excited to be a part of not not just an Emmy nominated show, but a
Yeah. Let's talk
show
about the
that
shot.
continues to grow.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be here. I was just with the cast, a few members of the cast. I was just with them and Lyrical Lemonade, some Smash,
Okay.
I guess that's what they call it. So I
Yeah.
had some of them there. So like it's a blessing that my position allows for me to like also not just get paid well and not
Yeah.
just so see my stuff they pick on TV, but like I'm able to like finesse and what I'm saying, like take care of the production or take care of some of the actors. You know what I mean? Uh, cultivating, like I said, those
Yeah.
those relationships. You know what I mean? Like I want to see people happy overall. You know what I'm saying? And if it can help, like build a situation where we can, profit together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or just build a situation where I can push somebody to shine even more, I'm all for it.
I'm gonna tell you, you in a great situation because first of all, you Showtime is Showtime. We already know who they are, and you being from Chicago and attached to a show called The Shy and being a location, come on, being in charge of location, that's crazy because you know the city ins and out, and you know how the field should look when it's on the screen. So I think that's
Yeah,
important that they hire people like you who know the city, know the ins and out, all the crevices, the nooks, the crannies. You're from the west side, so you know from the hood. You stayed downtown, so you know downtown, all that. So
yeah,
you know the city. So for them to get people like you on the show, and I love the Shy. I might be too
yeah,
critical on the Shy because it's the Shy, and I just like to see the representation of it, the Shy. So I might critique it harder than I do a Tyler Perry movie or a 50 Cent show because this is just
right,
me. But for the most
yeah,
part, uh, the locations and everything, it had me homesick, Tim. When I was living in Atlanta, and y'all seen the scenes, and I seen from the summer scenes to the winter scenes. I was getting homesick, and I was like, "That's Tim." That's Tim picking these. I knew you was picking on me, Tim. You was fucking with me, dog. Tell me, uh,
And
how was that going? And the next move, man.
so I want to talk definitely about like my apologies for
Okay.
the loudness, but what I want to I want to talk about like it starts with me as far as my
Okay.
position as location scout, but it's
Right.
definitely a team effort. You know what I'm saying, to see it through. You know,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Tasha Parker, who's still like a real mentor to me now,
Okay.
and Brian Fairley, who is my boss over at the Shy, who also took the chance on me. You know what I mean? You
Mm.
know, when I started on the Shy, I need to talk about that. You know, I started like from a PLA position, which meant that I was in charge of all the other location assistants. I
Okay.
had no experience. I know how to run management, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
like as far as like, ground level, knowing exactly where to place these LAs, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have that experience. So the
Okay.
fact that he, you know, allowed me to, you know, learn, make mistakes, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
did a good
Yeah.
job, you
Yeah.
know, where I did such a good job where the union guys told him, like, hey, don't promote him, don't let him go up, don't let him go
Damn
back
right.
to the location. You know what I mean? So, um, but like when I have a problem, you know, he definitely will talk to me about it. They'll also try to get me to understand the why, which is also they both did that very well. You know, from like always try to get me to understand like why am I making that decision? You know,
Right.
why am I picking
Right.
this place? You know, why am I bringing these options to the table? You know what I'm saying? So that has been a part of the great education with this, and hopefully, you know, rumblings are maybe you know next season I might move to assistant location manager. There's pros and cons with that, man. I
Okay.
won't talk about that, but I'm just saying like I've enjoyed this run as location scout. And eventually, T, you said what's next for me. I want to join the union. You know, like
Oh yeah.
you know, like I have to join the union. I want to join is the DGA, Directors Guild of America.
Okay.
So, and that I have to be in management positions to do so. So, and I have to be like three different productions or three different, you know, seasons. So, fingers crossed, you know, I can get that because, you know, that brings a lot of good health care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean? So, men's health care, something I want. You know, um, and of course, my pay goes up, you know, dramatically. You
Damn
know, if I'm
right.
union anyway.
Damn right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So, but also, you know, like I'm hoping to, you know, evolve from the standpoint of learning how to be a producer. Like I like that or EP for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point,
Okay.
those EP really is just connecting the money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know, making sure you find the right investors. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and say that this creative project will be profitable for you,
Yeah.
and the why, right? So,
Yeah.
but with producers, they're a little bit more hands-on. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see myself being the person that connects with production, the actors, you know, the city, you know what I'm saying, all
Mhm.
at once. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So, you know, I can wear a lot of different hats. So I see both of those for me.
You
And I
wear a
have
lot of
some really
hats,
good
bro.
mentors, you know, so I can, yeah, I can see that me going there. So as far as the Shy, I mean, like, it's very successful right now, bro. So to be honest with you, like, realistically, I could see me going to 10 seasons. You know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah.
and that would be
Oh
incredible.
yeah.
You know, the fact that we did 2 million streams out the gate that first episode for season 7, somebody's
Man.
watching, even if it ain't in Chicago. You know what I mean? So like it's funny to me though when I run into people from Chicago and never heard of this show. But that's okay though. That just means that it's my job to introduce them to this project. You know what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
um
Cause
yeah, man, that is
what's
crazy.
crazy about it is the people I know that watch the show and ask me questions, and that's why I be so hard on the show because they be asking me, is it really like that in Chicago or is it blase blase? Because they be tuning in because Chicago is so hot right now. I don't care where you go, overseas, anywhere in America. It's like they want to know what's going on in Chicago. We kind of set the trend. Um, Sometimes it's negative, but we set the trend on a lot of stuff. Period. Always have, and they always ask me about Chicago and uh, uh how accurate is the shot. And for the most part, I let them know. I say, oh, the script writing, is pretty accurate. Like, like the location's accurate. That's the city. Um, so I got a question though that I got to ask you about the shot. knowing your
What's
music
up?
background and all the background, the music background for all the people that's in the shy. Um, if you had a chance to put together a group consisting from the people from the cast of the shy, who would be in the group and what would you name the group?
Okay, so we
All
talking about just the cast of the shy?
yeah, the shy cast members. If you had a chance to put together a group,
You said what now? I'm so sorry. Say
if
that
you had a
again.
chance to put together a group, a
Yeah.
music group with using the cast
Okay.
of the shy, who would be in the group and what would be the name of the group?
That's crazy. Obviously Jacob Lattimore. He can sing his
Okay,
ass off.
facts.
Um,
Yeah.
Luke is not a joke.
So who
Luke
would be
is
the
not
lead
a joke.
singer?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Well,
Um,
first name me the group first. I'm sorry, name me the group first.
I'm trying to think if anybody else can really sing.
We got Jacob Lattimore. We got
You
we
got
got
Jacob.
Luke.
You got
That's
Luke.
me.
Uh, Damn, that's good too. But
Rev. You got Rev. The new Rev. Young Rev. Rev.
oh yeah,
My
Ratomi.
dog. I'm so sorry for getting his name. Oh my God.
His name too. Ratomi. Ah,
God damn. Yeah,
I
Ratomi.
apologize. Anybody from the
Me
chat is
too,
watching
man.
this.
We apologize. We want you on the show, my brother. We apologize, brother. We need you on the
Ratomi,
podcast.
I think it's his name.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
you put them
me.
three together. I don't remember any of the girls actually like really being good singers.
They just look good though. You can put the red bone. What's red
Wait,
bone
wait, hold
name?
on, hold on, wait, hold on. I think Genesis can sing.
Which one is that?
She's the one that plays Maisha. She's the one that plays Maisha, Kevin's girlfriend. So a young
Oh,
girl. Like,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she can sing.
Okay.
So dang, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Ooh, that's a tough one. Hey, look, even them four is like a four horsemen. So
That's
like,
hard. That's hard.
that's hard.
Like
It goes
yeah,
hard because you can interchange them all. You can interchange them all. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
What about Bart Fitzpatrick that y'all brought back?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and that's my stepsister
R.I.P.,
cousin too.
bro.
The small world
I
too.
had
Yeah, yeah.
no idea. Yeah, I had no idea, bro. And he's a hey,
He's a
when you
talented
watch the
dude.
show,
Yeah,
he's a very talented dude and one of the most like humble people that I've ever met. You know
that's
what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like he's a really down to earth dude. It's funny because you see these characters play super ruthless, right?
Yeah,
They just straight
yeah,
kill people. You know?
yeah,
So, but him, Cortez Smith, and my guy that played Duda,
yeah,
like
yeah.
three of the most chill people you'll ever meet.
That's
You know what
crazy.
I mean? Like
They can act.
super chill.
They can
You know,
act.
but they can act.
They
They can
can
act
act.
their ass off. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
cause you hate them.
And I'm not gonna front, man. It took. Yeah.
I
Hey, look,
mean, that's what you're
I
supposed to
get people.
do.
Yeah, you know how you get people to comment. You know what I'm saying on like the show or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, and they'll tell me in the heartbeat whether it's in my feed or they'll tell me in person. They're like, man, I hate that fucking.
yeah.
I hate you. You know, like it's like, yo, bro, we're just actors. You know, I mean, I'm sure me and Ted at least talk once where he's like, man, I get approached and somebody talking like look real out here, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand. I
So,
understand. You know what I
so
mean?
what would you
Um,
name this group? If you had these cats, you got Jacob, you got Fitzpatrick, you got Perry, you got Luke, you got some peoples on there, man.
yeah, I can't name it Fantastic Four. Marvel already got that. So,
Yeah, yeah, they sue you. They sue you.
what's the assistant company? Oh, it's all good. Shit.
Phone now.
You know what? You so
On
funny.
phone
I
now.
was gonna say Tess. I was gonna. No. You know what I'm gonna call him? No, I got a name for you, bro. I was gonna say Tess. TES. The Eloquent Society.
See that's why you Tim
Yeah,
Matthews,
talking
man. See how fast you did
to
that?
yeah.
You see how fast you just did that, man. Now you all we gotta do is just package it up, get them a deal. Matter of fact, tell Jacob
Yeah.
Latimer, his father, Cersei, he got the record label. They already got it. Tell them let's put it together, man. You already executive, man. Let's wrap it up. Test. It's going down. I can see it, man.
Well,
Oh man.
you gotta run that back. You gotta run that back Tish first. So
Yeah,
we'll
you got to
figure
run
that
about
out.
that first. But they don't even know they're a group until they hear this interview. Then they gonna be like, "Wow, we a group." They don't even know that they put together. You know what I'm saying? Oh man,
Yeah.
that's dope. And testimony.
I would
Oh,
hope.
the first
I would
single,
hope
testimony. Come on now, we.
test.
Come on now, tell when we get together. Stop playing. Hey, I gotta say something too. We ain't brought up one inspirational person I think that was in both of our lives because he was like one of the first persons, first people that I seen do a movement. Like as far as like out of Chicago making a movement trying to be a superstar. Dougie.
Who you talking-
Dougie.
My cousin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
Dougie.
my cousin.
Rest in
But
peace, man.
rest in peace. My cousin Jagger, I haven't heard that name in so long.
Man.
He got a son that just looked just like him that stayed in Minnesota, boy. My cousin
Wow.
Marcus, man. The spitting image of Dougie. Inspirations. You talk about early inspirations, right?
Yes.
My cousin Dougie was, a rapper, a dancer, a gangbanger. Like
Yeah.
my cousin Dougie in my
Man.
life was, you know what I'm saying? And then of course, like Mr. Francis, there was the community center leader on the west side of Chicago, and also kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
There was my cousin from marriage that he has pharmaceutical sales of a different kind,
Yeah.
and what I'm saying,
Yeah.
kept me out of trouble as well. He gave
Yeah.
me real money to stay out of trouble. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? There was my you remember my boy Carl? I mean, Carl put that entrepreneur in me, bro.
Yeah.
Carl McGee
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
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 I used to go house parties when I was a teenager. I had all the rappers coming through. Do or
Yes,
Die,
sir.
Crucial Conflict.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
We
it was
remember.
crazy.
Yep.
I
Scrap
remember,
dirty, DJ Scrap dirty, everybody,
and then
man. We can rob.
we get but now I think if I'm not mistaken, he runs a DJ coalition out in New York. Like
Yeah,
he's the man
violators.
out in New York from a DJ
Violators.
standpoint, man.
Yeah.
That's
Lord.
right. He's with Chris Lighty.
Yeah.
R.I.P. with Chris Lighty.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but he's a part of Violator Management. You know what I'm saying? So, but he started in throwing parties with me, DJing my parties back in high school.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I've got a Christ, bro. Like all the things and all the people I've been through, it's
Come
been a
on, man.
culmination. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, T? Like what's made my job easier so much on the shy is the simple fact that like your network, right?
Yes,
So I
sir.
know so many people, and sometimes when I need something, I can just go to my database
Yep.
versus, you know what I'm saying, like struggling. Like I don't struggle in this position. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. If they show me something I don't know, a junkyard, then it's like, oh, I don't know nobody that runs a junkyard. But
Right,
for the
right.
most part, I
For
say
them
80% of the things that I read,
right.
I can tap in either
Right.
directly or indirectly. You know what?
Because
So
with you is all in reach, 6 degrees of separation.
yeah,
Because, like, say, you being born and raised in Chicago and not just you really tapped into the city. Like you say, Dougie, who was our inspiration, he lived a real life, man. Like rest in peace to Dougie. Like we seen Dougie go through ups, downs, everything. We see him put together a marketing scheme. We see him the first person that put together a real campaign to uh try to get put out there. You know what I'm saying? So Dougie was like, so like I say, and then like rest in peace of your moms, your
yeah.
brother situation, everything you like you said you went through a lot. So when they ask you for something, the pressure really not that much for you, and you can always come through because you can always tap into somebody.
It's so funny you say that, bro, because of the whole point that like I tell people when they're going through something, you know what I'm saying? There's always somebody that is going through something even more than you. So tap into that thought. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I went away for college and my house burned down.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Come on
you know,
now. Yeah.
my mom died. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one that had to, pull the. That was my decision to let her live. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember.
On life
Oh,
support.
yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
there are things that I went through so young. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I'm so thankful for my experiences. Of
Yeah.
course, obviously, there's a solemn thought about them, but like I'm so thankful for these experiences, bro.
No,
So like because it builds character building. You know what I
that's
mean?
why I wanted to bring it back because like you were telling your story, and I don't want people to think that it just came like overnight. Like they just see you like you chilling now, and you got this dream job, and you got your dream girl, and you sipping drinks with umbrellas in it, and You know, they don't know the whole path. You know what I mean? They got to know the whole story because we grew up together, Tim. We started off together, man.
Yep.
We two kids from the West Side of Chicago, man. So that's why you on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
the moves you made, and you always try to give back and help people. You always try to bring people up before you even you. And matter of fact, you're not even on yet, like you're gonna be on. Trust me. But you
That
always
part.
bringing
That
people up. You got your brother. We could talk about your brother who signed with Twister, Grits,
Yep.
David, Pin Gang. Happy
Yep.
birthday, belated birthday. Like it's just so many
Happy
people
birthday.
that,
Happy
and they
birthday.
all look up to you. They always looked up to you, Tim. You always been this big brother figure when you be. I mean, when you was little in stature, but you big, you huge.
I'm 6'5". Hey, yo, T, I'm
Six
6'5"
five,
in attitude. So,
6'5", Jack.
and I can't hang with all the big dogs. I ain't worried about it.
That's right.
So, but hey, man, I may have to wrap this episode. My apologies.
Oh yeah. It's cool. No,
Um,
no, man. I talk your ear off, man. I got a lot of
no,
footage,
no, you
Jack.
and I can talk for hours.
You got a
You and
lot
I
of
can talk
footage,
for hours.
Jack.
I already
And you coming back? You'll be back. We'll be back. Don't worry about it. Hey,
I hope
I
so.
got
Let's do a
I
part
got
two.
one more thing I gotta say before you leave. Now, you
Yes, sir.
know,
I'm with you.
one of my best friends I grew up with is Wood Harris, right?
You said what now, bro?
One of my best friends who I grew up with is Wood Harris, the actor.
Wow, that's right.
Like,
You did
like,
an interview with him, man. I love his work.
look. So I already told him I was interviewing you, and you work with the Shy and all that. And I'm just saying, I want you to be the person that put that playthrough when Wood Harris get put on the Shy for a season, the next season, the next 3 seasons. Like you said, we go last season 10. You already put it out
Yeah,
there.
I feel like it's gonna be 10. Yeah.
So we gonna put him on there for 3 seasons, bring him back home, and I want you to be the one that put the play in, man. Like you need to be the one that make that happen, man. Like so they can know who you are, man. Shout out to Showtime, but they need to know who Tim Matthews is, man.
Thank you for that. And I'm sure, like, I'm not the only person that loves Wood's work. So I will. All I can say to that is that Wood Harris, sir, you make sure you get my information from T, because I would love to connect with you. And more importantly, you and your brother Steve are
Yes, sir.
Chi-Town's finest. And
Yes, sir.
I would love to go ahead and at least make a meeting happen. That's all I can say to
Yes,
that.
sir.
You know, I never try to make promises out here, T. You know what I'm saying? That's the one
Oh
thing that
yeah.
also saves me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't under promise. You know what I'm saying? It's the best way
Right.
to do things. So that way it's like surprise, surprise, this happened. You know what I mean?
I'm the
So
opposite. I'm just gonna throw it out there, and if it don't happen, I just eat the cake.
but you speaking it
But
into
but
existence.
I just throw it out there. Like if it don't happen, it must be some strange. It must. If I throw it out there and it don't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. That's how I look at it.
Copy
If
it.
I don't throw it out there, then I don't know. But if I throw it out there and it don't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. Because if I feel like I throw it out
That
there,
part.
it's gonna happen. Like me, I wasn't giving up on this interview. I'm like, hold on, man. You could when you look at this interview again from the beginning, you gonna see me say, hold tight. We gonna keep trying. It's gonna happen. God's will is gonna happen. So that's how I feel. But look, as far as Wood to be here,
Hey,
Wood to be
you
here
start some stuff.
on the 26th of July.
Of
He's doing a
July.
show. He's hosting a show with Rhapsody on the South Side. So I'm gonna make
Copy
sure
that.
that we gonna be there together. So when he come in
Okay.
town, we there.
Please let me use my resources. Let's set up a dinner. You know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and you know what I'm saying? Like chop it up. You know,
Easy.
some drinks and chop it up
Blessings.
for real.
That's good.
I'm gonna keep you in the city, bro.
I already know.
And I just want to say, you don't quit, man, because you got that West Side in you, bro.
Come on
And we
now.
don't know what quit is.
Come
We
on,
don't know
man.
what quit is.
We go harder.
Act,
We go
act,
harder.
act a little real. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
sir.
act support for Christian conflict. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
what quit is.
Yeah.
Like,
We got that lion heart, man. Like you say, when we kick the door in, we feel like we already think we celebrities in Chicago. Everybody from Chicago already think we celebrities, man. So when we go
everybody important,
elsewhere,
bro. Everybody important.
that's why I say I look at Mojo Brooks. I look at all the comedians just blowing up, and I shout out to them, and I just look at them, man, and I just remember that we all just got that celebrity in us from Bernie Mac when he went up there and said, "I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers." to R.
Yep.
Kelly to Kanye to to D like you say Lil Rel, D Ray, Deion Cole, Corey Holcomb. Come on, man. Chicago,
You know
man.
what I'm gonna speak into? You know I'm gonna speak into existence right now, man. Before it's all said and done, God willing, I'm gonna have a real Chicago coalition popping off. You know what I'm saying? From every facet. You watch what I tell you, man. Unless God
I'm,
sends me another way,
I'm
that's
part
my
of it,
plan.
Jack. Count me in.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, but I'm gonna let you go, Tim. Hey, look, I know you about to go to this White Sox game. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go there. And it's almost like I hope you ain't taking no kids with you, because you take a kid with you to the White Sox game, it's child abuse. It's child
I'm
abuse,
dead. No,
man, because they getting their ass kicked so bad. Like
yo,
it's
it's me
child
and my boys.
abuse.
Yeah, yo, it's me and my boys, and it's gonna be like a big time actor that I'm actually gonna be like in a suite with. So I'm
Oh, that's
excited
dope.
about this. One of my childhood actors. You know what I'm
All
saying? I
right.
don't want to say his name. You know what I'm saying? But you seen him in a lot of movies.
Oh shit. Okay, from the crib.
And he's from Chicago.
Oh,
From Chicago.
much love.
He might be of lighter skin. That's what I can do.
Oh, okay. Anybody light skinned from Chicago that's acting, they winning.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no.
It's already.
I mean, real light. I mean, lighter than that.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. Hey, that's even better because hey, look, my favorite actor is I love John Belushi, Jim Belushi, John the
Yo,
Belushi boy. So,
you know what? Hey. You were on the right track with that word, John. But I gotta go. Yeah, you got
oh,
that first name.
oh. All right, we go. Hey, that's a good hint. All right, fam.
I'm excited,
Look,
bro. I'm excited.
hey, make
Yeah,
sure you take pictures, videos. We gonna ask you back on the show, man. Like I say, man, it's
I
much
would love
love.
to come back. Please
Nuts.
invite me back.
Man,
Yes.
you welcome, man. Stop playing. We go. The more we grow, the more you come on, man. You in it. Hey, I
Hey,
fucked you up with that Frank Thomas question though. I know I did.
hey, wait. Want to hear something funny? One of my homeboys works for the Chicago Bulls. That's how I was able to get set up with that tweet. And when Frank came out, man, he was like, "Oh my God, you were just like a kid." I was like, "Yeah, I was, because I was a kid when I was working for him." I was like, "Yo, I was super excited." Like Frank,
Damn.
Frank, bro.
Hey,
But
like I say, I remember that label. I remember Bacardi deal you had. Like I say, man, it's been a long journey, man. Salute your journey. Uh, more blessings to you. I know they coming too, man. Just stay prepared, stay humble, man, and and stay doing you, Tim Matthews. Be you, brother. Be you.
all day, man, all day. Make sure you send me a copy of this, man. I want to keep
Oh
this
yeah.
interview.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna chop it up 1,000 times, brother. Yes, sir. All
All right, bro. Love you, man.
right,
Appreciate you,
love,
bro.
fam. Love. Yep. Yep.
All right, take care now.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
guys.
Hey man, that was a great interview from my man Tim Matthews, man. West Side's finest, man. Give it up for him. Now you see what I'm saying? Don't give up. Y'all was ready to leave. Most of y'all, when y'all look back at this interview, y'all gonna be like, "Yo, that dude didn't even panic. He knew he was good. He knew that everything was gonna work out. Sound quality, great interview, everything." Another episode of Dope Lines, Fresh Fridays live, baby. Give it up for us, baby. We got some great guests coming. We got Isaiah Thomas, the great Isaiah Thomas, man. We ain't hooked the date up yet, though. He's a busy man, you already know, but we working around Uncle Zeke. Of course, we got DTA, the original DJ for EPMD. We got him coming on the show. We got a call back from Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher. He's down with the show. For those who don't know who Stove God is, yep, be prepared. But like I said, man, we coming. Of course, we got people like Wood Harris. Make sure Wood Harris coming to Chicago. Wood Harris be here for he got a show with Rhapsody, Fillmore Green, God MC. It's a whole bunch of Chicago MCs on stage out on 35th Street. I'm gonna promote it when I drop the edited video so y'all can know. Hosted by Wood Harris. It's gonna be crazy. Make sure y'all come out. Wood Harris back in the city. Shout out to the homeboy Will Harris back in the city. We gonna do it big. It's gonna be a big movie, man. Got my homie Will Gates recording everything. So it's just gonna be big, man. Uh, make sure y'all, everybody that's on Facebook, I need y'all to cross over to Dope Lines Podcast on YouTube. Y'all see it right there. But you see it. But make sure y'all tune in, man. Y'all like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can be notified for any alerts, anything that jump off, pop off. You want to be alerted because ain't no telling what we gonna do. It's summertime. It's dope lines. We out there. Shout out to Big Bro, of course, like Eric Sherman and all them peoples, man. You know the squad. But thank you for tuning in, man. Dope Lines Podcast. Make sure y'all look. Make sure that y'all check out Dope Lines. DopeLinesApparel.com. Um, we going live, baby. We got the hottest gear, hip hop gear. We putting everything dope on t-shirts. Go see that Nas. I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death shirt that we got on Dope Lines Apparel. When you see that Nas, I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death shirt, you're gonna order. When you see that Biggie, the more I smoke, the smaller the Philly gets, you're gonna order. When you see that Lauren Hill, I play my enemies like a game of chess for the ladies, you're gonna order. When you see put some fire on the ass end of that weed, when you see that shirt, you're gonna order. When you see that shirt, I break bread, ribs, $100 bills, you're gonna order.